It's about time. Thank you to the Green Neal family for lighting our flaming chalice, and away we go with Olivia Evans.
Good morning. Welcome to the First Parish in Bedford. I'm Olivia Evans, a 9th grader here at First Parish, a part of this year's coming of age class and senior youth group. We are glad you're here. We welcome you just as you are. Whatever is going well or not going so well in your life right now, we are glad you came in our door. We celebrate the many diversities among us of age, race, class, varying abilities, sexual orientation, or gender identity, religious and political beliefs. We are a Unitarian-Universalist congregation, which means we are united by shared values. They include respect, compassion, justice, and peace. And this is how we try to live our faith. Following the service, join us for community hour in the common room. Stop by the welcome table on your way to community hour if you'd like to find out more about us or tell us more about you. You can also fill out a blue connection card during the service if you'd like to stay in touch with goings on here. In the back of your order of service, I want to call your attention to an announcement section. I want to particularly mention the following our community hour today. There will be a religious education forum, which will be time for us to gather and hear about the religious education survey that was completed last spring, and also about what kind of vision we are shaping for religious growth and learning in our church. A light lunch and childcare are included, and all are welcome. Also, please see Marcia Morgan if you'd like to make a scarf for the recipients of a new food distribution program at Ashby Place in Bedford. Now I invite you to turn to hymn number 68 in the Great Book and rise in body or spirit to join in singing, "Come Ye Thankful People, Come."
standing if you are able for our unison affirmation. It is in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Este es nuestro gran pacto, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. Thank you. So, I have a question for you all this morning. Has anybody ever heard a story about the first Thanksgiving? I see a lot of hands going up. I bet that a lot of us have heard a story about pilgrims who came from England, coming to the Americas, and about the people who lived here helping them survive in a land they were unfamiliar with, and about them sharing a meal together at harvest time. And I think that is a really beautiful story about sharing and taking care of each other and building community. But whenever I hear that story, it makes me feel sad and angry. And it's not because of the story. It's because of what happened later. Because as we know, as more and more people came from England and other parts of Europe to the Americas, they decided that rather than building community together, they wanted to take the land just for their people. And so many of the people who lived here were forced to move and died. And that makes me feel so sad and angry every time I hear that story. But I know that Thanksgiving is not about being sad and angry. I know it's about thinking of how we can build that kind of community in the story. And so I have a challenge for all of us for Thanksgiving. So if you celebrate Thanksgiving, however you celebrate it, with whomever you celebrate it, this is the challenge I give to all of us. The first challenge is to honor the land that you're on. And so for this land we are on here, this land, my understanding is that Wampanoag people lived here in the past before European colonizers came and settled here. And so we can pay respect to the Wampanoag people. And if you travel to another part of North America on your Thanksgiving, you can find out who the native people were there and pay respect. And the second challenge I have is to think about how we can be good guests and good hosts, and to talk about that together. And I know people in this congregation care a lot about being good guests on this earth and taking good care of our earth and our resources for the future. And I know we care about being good hosts and offering welcome to people who need safety and shelter. So I think that because we care about those things, we could have some great conversations and some awesome ideas about how we could do even better about being guests and hosts in this land. So that's my Thanksgiving challenge to all of us. And we're going to hear in the Reader's Theater pieces that we have today in service about what the world could maybe look like if we're really good at being good guests and good hosts. So listen to that near the end of the service to see one vision of what that might be like.
Thanksgiving past, and standing in for Julian Van Prague is Emery Carroll.
Thanksgiving past. The ghost of Thanksgiving past came and visited last night, and this is what he showed us. I remember the smells. I remember the voices, like it was yesterday.
My grandma and grandpa coming in the door with their suitcases. Grandma carrying a cake holder with 2 pies in it.
My sister, Judy, and her friend, who we always called Aunt Lisa, were there. They had lived together for 10 years.
And there was Aunt Fritzie, who always seemed to drink too much.
All part of our Thanksgiving.
One year, we were all in the house and President Kennedy had been assassinated. No one could focus on Thanksgiving, just on how horrible this loss was for our country, and the faces of his widow and his little children, all shown on live TV.
But most years, we had a ritual that we followed, the same every year.
The kids had to help set the table. I made special turkey place cards with everyone's names on them.
My cousin Ellen and I ended up finishing the cooking while Mom and Aunt Fritzie, Aunt Judy, and Aunt Lisa had fancy cocktails.
And Dad and Uncle Jim and the boys sat in a different room filled with cigar smoke. Watching one football game after another.
The older ladies ate little cocktail hot dogs and meatballs and sauce and cheese straws.
After our chores were done, I got to have a Shirley Temple with the grown-ups, which was pretty special.
And then we sat down together.
All of us stopping whatever else we had been talking about to look around the table and see each of our faces. Grandpa would talk about the importance of family and connection, and even though Aunt Lisa and Mom had been arguing before dinner, they stopped and smiled.
And then we sang Over the River and Through the Wood, just like we did every year.
And ate lots of pie.
One.
Peace. I'm thankful for love. I'm thankful for photography. And I'm thankful to be me. There are many things I am thankful for. I can find plants.
I'm thankful for
Water.
I'm thankful for
Sports.
There are many things I am thankful for. Let me tell you what they are. There are many things I am thankful for. Let me tell you what they are. I'm thankful for
Nature.
I'm thankful for family. I'm thankful for everyone. And I'm thankful to
We are thankful for Kids Sing. And among the things we are thankful for are new members of the First Parish in Bedford. Last week I said we were getting tired of the old members, and that's not really true. We like longtime members, but it also is refreshing. We are refreshed by the presence of new members. Recently, I learned that each year in this country, 3,500 churches close, go out of business. And perhaps many of them deserve to go out of business. And I also learned recently that contrary to that trend, Unitarian-Universalist churches have actually begun to grow again. We too had been experiencing membership decline across the country, but that has now changed. For the first time since 2008, there are actually more UUs, and we are privileged to contribute to that growing number. This morning, we will welcome several new members, and I'm going to also ask our clerk, Rebecca Green-Neal, to come forward. And some members of our membership committee are here to greet new members, and our ministry staff can come forward to give plenty of hugs around the circle. And we offer new members flowers, and you know the drill. We offer a flaming chalice pin, and I say it every time, but there is a rule that goes with the flaming chalice pin, and that is that it is not to go into your sock drawer, nor is it to go into that bowl with all that crud in your kitchen on the counter. It is to be put on some article of clothing so that you and others may see it once in a while at least. And so, with that, I'm going to call the names of our new members, and if you are here present, please come forward to be greeted by this array of distinguished representatives. Our new members include Emily Netherton, Vern and Vicki Gaw, Richard Kaiser, and it only took him 12 years to sign the membership book, but Peter Cho as well. And then in late breaking news, we also welcome Marjorie Romer, and we welcome Tony Vandermoede and Mary Vandermoede. Sure. Give it up. Come forward. Okay.
Christians, you have joined a free church, a church with a proud heritage. No creed will bind your heart or mind. Live and speak as freely as you are able with charity, integrity, and courage.
And now it's your turn. Stand as you are able, and together. We welcome you into our liberal religious community. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Let us worship together in such affection that our differences strengthen one another. Now, membership committee, make sure they get their proper amount of swag. And I neglected to mention that there's also cake during community hour in honor of new members. And one more time, give it up for all of them. And as long as you're on your feet, we'll sing For All That Is Our Life. Our hymn is number 128, and we're going to sing the first two verses.
Spirit of life and love, we gather this morning in a spirit of gratitude. We give thanks for the very breath of life, for one more turning of the earth and rising of the sun, for the beauty of the first fallen snow, and for the drivers of the snowplows that moved it out of our way. We give thanks for eyes that opened to behold this new day. We give thanks for good food, warm homes, and affectionate friends, some of whom have traveled great distances to be with us this morning. We give thanks for bodies, both spry and weary, that carried our spirits into this sacred space and time of worship and fellowship. Even as we give thanks, we hold in love and solidarity our human siblings near and far, whose hearts are filled with longing. We hold those who long for freedom and a place to call home. We hold those who long for release from illness and poverty, violence, loneliness, and grief. We join them in their longing and hold tenderly our own heart's longing for healing and wholeness. Spirit of life, may we continue to hold in balance our gratitude and our longing so that we succumb neither to complacency nor to despair. May we continue to take up the sacred tools of humanity, our love and compassion, our courage and ingenuity, our vision and creativity to grow a world of more justice, more peace, more beauty, and more joy. This we pray in the name of our children's children, that they may reap the full harvest of our sowing. May it be so.
One. Blue, blue, green. It's blue. Blue. Thank you.
Excuse me.
The wisdom of the great chief Seattle reminds us, all things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the children of the earth.
All things share the same breath. The beast, the tree, the man. The air shares its spirit with all the life it supports. We do not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. This we know.
All things are connected. All living things share the same breath. All things are connected. The air shares its spirit with all life. All things are connected. Just like the blood which unites us all. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the children of the earth.
Treat the earth well. It was not given to you by your parents. It was loaned to you by your children. We did not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrowed it from our children. The last tree has been cut down, only after the last river has been poisoned, only after the last fish has been caught, only then will we realize money cannot be eaten.
Thanksgiving present.
The ghost of Thanksgiving present came and visited me last night, and I realized that the big day awaits, that there are things that I treasure and anticipate with excitement.
As our extended family gathers this year, a niece and a nephew are each bringing home a friend from college who is too far from home to have dinner with his family.
We're having a dry Thanksgiving, skipping the family tradition of old fashions and all the wine with dinner.
This will be a big change for some, but we're trying to support Uncle Bill, who is finally openly coming to terms with his drinking problem.
My sister called to say that her daughter is a vegan now. We are brainstorming on ways we can adapt some of the side dishes to be sure there is more for her to eat than salad.
I think we're going for a stuffed eggplant recipe with currants, tomatoes, and zucchini and some veggie sushi. That's way better than turkey.
Now that our kids are grown and gone, we'll be having Thanksgiving dinner at my brother's house.
That means my spouse and I are able to volunteer in the morning for an organization that brings meals to elders on this day when Meals on Wheels does not deliver in person. We'll visit 3 folks in their 90s and chat with them about their favorite Thanksgiving memories.
This, for me, is what Thanksgiving should be about. Connecting with others, celebrating the warmth of relationship to others, friendship, and a little good food.
We have a tradition in our family. We drive to Plymouth for the day of mourning ceremony that is hosted by the United American Indians of New England. Then we come home and enjoy our dinner.
It just feels right to remember that our country's history has reasons to be sad as well as grateful.
But in the morning, no matter what, I have to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and then the National Dog Show. It's a must.
And we'll take our annual family picture this year on Thanksgiving. It is the only day this year that we'll all be under the same roof for even these few hours.
I can't wait for that day for us to gather together and celebrate our family and the blessings we share.
Speaking of blessings that we share, this is a community where we share generously with each other so that we can create that kind of community where we are both guest and host, getting what we need and offering what we can. Please give generously to the offering this morning as it is collected.
We on? Yeah. Okay, these are our beautiful combined choirs. Now you guys have to watch very carefully because not only will this song have the combined choirs, it will have you, and they will tell you what to do.
Something's wrong on the road. Something's wrong on the road. All night long. 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 From midnight on. From midnight on. If anyone asks you.
La da 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 da. I love Thanksgiving, don't you? Is it like maybe your favorite holiday? Yeah? You know, I have this guest at your table box. I think you're going to get them soon. And it says on this box, and I know because I have done this for many years, that guest at your table is a way to help people who need some support in different countries have food that is healthy. I've got peanut butter here. It's my favorite. And some blueberry jam and some bread. And I am going to make a peanut butter sandwich. And I am going to send this to our friends who need some support. So there's the peanut butter. Who likes peanut butter and jelly? Yeah, I thought so. Don't you wish you were up here right now? You know? All right, I've got this sandwich. It's all set. I got my box. I'm putting it in the box. Okay, it's good. Now,
What are you doing? Deb,
I'm making a sandwich.
and you're putting it in the box?
Well, how else am I going to get it to these people who need a little bit of good food?
That's not really how we do this thing.
It
This
isn't?
is a way of supporting the Unitarian-Universalist Service Committee, which you're right, helps people around the world, and
Yeah.
especially helps migrants who are escaping from dangerous places in Central America, but we don't send them peanut butter and jelly.
Why not? It's really good.
Because it would get stuck all over the box and you can't put it in the mailbox and it would just be a mess.
Well, he's right about that. It's kind of sticky in there. So what should I do?
Well, the whole idea is to take one of these boxes and to put it on your kitchen table so that when you sit down, you can put your spare change in it. Now, it's true, like the song said, you can't eat money, but money can do a lot to help the human rights of people whose lives are in danger.
Well, I know that. I mean, I have pennies and nickels and I've got some quarters. I put them in a jar usually. Do you do that? Yeah?
Have you got any of those paper things that, you know, have ones or fives or tens on them?
Oh, yes, sometimes I have those. Yeah.
Well, you can put your spare change or your dollar bills or more or your check in the box and do that over the holidays. And that's a way to have the whole family learn the importance of giving.
I get it. All right, so let me make sure I've got this straight. So we're going to have these boxes and we're going to put them on our tables. And all during the holidays, right up through the end of December, we're going to put our change, including bills, or even a check, right?
Yep, you got
into
it.
the box. Better than a peanut butter sandwich, although I do like peanut butter. But, so after that's over, we bring them back to church. We'll let you know when that is. And we'll collect them, and then we could send them to people who need some support. Yeah? Lori has a question. Oh.
The check can be made out to First Parish with UUSC on the memo line, or you can make it out to UUSC. Hey, Deb, what are you going to do with this box?
Well, I might eat the sandwich first, and then I'll probably just get a fresh box.
Or maybe we can share the sandwich. Would that be okay?
Oh yeah, after church we can share
All
the
right, that's
sandwich.
good.
So what's going to happen now, we're not passing out peanut butter sandwiches, but we have some friends who have baskets. They're going to come up right now, and they are going to give you one of these boxes to put together. And there are some brochures that you can take if you want to read about the work of the UU Service Committee. And for everybody upstairs, don't worry. Our friend Emery will be up to see you with a basket right after we tell you about Thanksgiving in the future. And thank you.
Thanksgiving future.
The ghost of Thanksgiving future came and visited last night, and this is what they showed us.
Our multiracial family celebrated a truly multicultural Thanksgiving this month.
On the table, there were collard greens and kimchi, tabbouleh, hummus and olives, guacamole with chips, and of course a turkey curried and stuffed with rice.
No one goes to volunteer at soup kitchens or deliver food to the elderly anymore because everyone is fully integrated into town life. Because we have close friends who are homeless and elderly, we invite those friends to our Thanksgiving dinner.
All the homeless people in my town have now been given homes as the residents from so many congregations worked together to engage in a community building program that helped to reclaim a plot of formerly neglected vacant land.
Our traditional dry Thanksgiving is in its 20th year. Uncle Bill has been sober for 15 years, and many of the rest of us joined Al-Anon to learn about the patterns in our family that supported his drinking.
And Uncle Jimmy brought his husband, Dave, to Thanksgiving dinner, and Dave's children and grandchildren came too.
Many families, inexplicably, still like to watch football on TV, but our family wanted to watch a special show on the day of mourning ceremony in Plymouth. It's become a national event ever since our government started taking our debt to indigenous peoples more seriously.
Speaking of the government, this year for the first time, we're celebrating Thanksgiving by welcoming people who are from the Americas, all of the Americas, to enter our country through our new safe and legal migration policy, which makes it easy to cross borders if you need to seek safety or economic opportunities.
And now we're learning how to use energy more carefully to share what we have with others. It was amazing to learn that Americans are now consuming the same amount of resources as everyone else in the world. So we're taking our share, but no more.
And those solar panels that are on our church and the ones that are on the houses around the center of town, we're leading the way.
My family is originally from New Orleans, and we give thanks this year that ocean levels are finally, slowly receding instead of rising.
We've been living in Mississippi since before I was born, but everyone always talks about how wonderful New Orleans was in the old days. I wish I could see it. The government reconstruction plan says that New Orleans will finally be fully restored in 10 years.
And then I'll take my family and my trumpet back there for a celebration. I might even move back.
I can't wait to celebrate Thanksgiving this year. There is so much to be thankful for in our beautiful world. We can celebrate what we have together.
There's so much.
So many blessings.
Family and friends.
All of us together.
A beautiful vision of what could be. In that spirit, will you please rise as able and join in singing hymn number 67, We Sing Now Together.
Before we close, let me ask that all of the children and youth who are in our choirs come forward after the service to see Liz Connors to sign a welcome back card for Janet Welby. I share these closing words which were written by the Reverend Charles Howe. May we go forward from this place thankful for the life that sustains and renews us, and open to the grace that surrounds and surprises us. May we go forth from this place with openness and with thanksgiving. Go in peace, blessed be.